1, 2, 3, 4, get my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing fine. 10, gonna do it right and do it again, yeah. I look into the sky with all its beautiful color, but there's more than just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show, to give, let out. I want to sing and shout. Take a look and see a beautiful morning that turns into a beautiful evening, and together make a beautiful life. And if you wanna see, then come along with me. That's right.
Welcome to Experience Michiana. I cannot wait for next week's show so I can show you what we did inside at Brazier Fitboxing.
Oh, I have to tell you, my first time here, I had a great time, Dave. I want to thank you for inviting me.
No, you're beast mode.
I'm
I didn't
beast.
yeah. Kelly has 2 modes, airplane mode and beast mode. They're the only 2 modes.
And beast mode, but it was so much fun. Can't wait for you guys to see that next week. But we have a great show. Yesterday I was in Buchanan at the Arts Center, and we're going to find out all about the exhibit, Celebrate the St. Joe River.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We're also going to hear from Courtney this week. She's at the Summer Sipping Craft Brew Fest in Plymouth.
Do you need a beer after that workout? I need a brew. I know, but first, let's head over to the Michiana Master Gardeners annual garden tour. Then we'll get a beer. No, maybe water. Water's better.
I think after this class I need water.
The flowers are blooming, the bees are buzzing. I can hear the birds chirping too. There's plenty to see outside right now. Nature is just beautiful, and I'm really excited to share with you today. In Bristol, Indiana, they're doing the Michiana Master Gardener Association Garden Tour, which is just wonderful. And I have with us today Gay, who is the chair of the event. And this is something that you guys have been doing for a number of years now.
Right, this is our 23rd annual garden tour, and we are just so excited this year because we canceled last year because of COVID, and this is our first year in Bristol, Indiana, so it's just a very fun event for this year.
It is, and you go to different cities throughout Elkhart County each year, correct?
Correct. We stay within Elkhart County, but we do move around so that we see all aspects of the county and many wonderful, wonderful gardens.
And this year there's 7 different gardens that are a part of the tour.
Correct.
And how do you go about selecting who's going to be a part of that walking tour?
Well, you know, that is a thing. We have a garden selection committee, and so they go around, they drive around, they kind of look, and they find some place they think looks good, go knock on the door and check, and plus get recommendations from other master gardeners who might live in the area and know people who have beautiful gardens that would maybe want to share them.
Now, what exactly is a master gardener?
A master gardener is a volunteer. So our organization is through the Purdue University Extension Services and locally through the Elkhart County Extension Office. We go through a training of classes for about 3 months on a host of topics like fruit trees and lawns and perennials and pests. So we learn about many aspects of gardening and horticulture so that we can then volunteer and share our knowledge of gardening and horticulture with our community around us.
Which is so important too. I know obviously nature in general is very important, that we take care of it and we give back to it.
Exactly.
It is. Now, when is this event happening? Because it's a one-day event, right?
It is a one-day event. It is this year on June 26th.
Okay.
The gardens will be open from 10 until 4. But we also have a hospitality center, which this year is located at the Bristol United Methodist Church, 201 Division Street in Bristol. At that location, we are hosting a plant sale, which will be amazing, as well as a lovely assortment of merchandise in a garden-themed motif for outside garden art, as well as things for in the home. And you can also buy tickets on the day at the hospitality center.
Okay, perfect. And that money goes back to the organization?
Right, right. This is one of our 2 big fundraisers for the year.
That's important.
And our money goes to things like supporting the community garden in Elkhart. We provide a scholarship for a horticulture student at Purdue University, and other meaningful things throughout the year.
And so where can people find the course or the maps for the tour?
Well, once you buy your ticket, within that booklet, it will have directions and a description of each of the gardens, and it will
great.
give you a driving path to be able to go through the tour.
Okay, and people can also purchase tickets ahead of time.
Right.
Where can they get their tickets at?
Right, good question. So if you go to our website at MichianaMasterGardeners.com, you can either buy your tickets there online for $11, and also on the website it has a list of businesses who are selling tickets for us in advance, and they are only $10. So you can go to that website
Okay.
to find local businesses that are selling our tickets.
Well, that is so wonderful. I know I can hear the water running behind us. We have one of the tour locations right behind us.
Absolutely.
And I think we're going to be talking with the homeowner to get a little tour of the grounds.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you for coming.
Kathy, you are the homeowner here, and this is one of the stops on the tour, and this is just such a peaceful place. It's blissful,
you.
in fact.
Yeah, right.
Which is kind of where you came up with the name of this. What is the name of the gardens that you refer to?
Well, I refer to it as Ananda, and that's an Indian name that means bliss.
Okay.
And it is because it's a very peaceful place.
It is,
Right.
and you've done so much here. Let's kind of take a little look around and
Sure.
see what you have here. There's so many different colors. There's a lot of varieties.
Right. These are all called coral bells or heuchera. And what's so fun about heuchera is they have such a huge variety
Okay.
of shapes and sizes and colors.
Well, yeah, because this one
Yes.
has the stalks coming out of it.
Right.
Which is a really great complementary color to the green leaves, too.
Yes,
It
I think so.
is. So how do you go about planning, each year? What does it look like to you? Some of this comes up every year and you deal with that. But what is the planning process for you to really make the garden so mastery?
Well, sometimes it's a matter of sitting down and going through books and looking online and talking to other master gardeners. And sometimes it's just I have a picture in my mind of what I want. Okay, and sort of like here,
Okay.
this was empty for a long time and it bothered me. I kept thinking, what can I do here? So after we had put the fountain in and put in the sort of little dry creek bed, this was empty, and I thought, I just need to continue the creek bed.
I love how that looks, too. It's beautiful.
And one day that overflowed because Mark forgot to turn it off, and it came right down the little stream. It was
made
just
its own
great.
stream.
Yeah. And these are little yuki cherries, and we follow sort of an Asian or a Japanese theme, all along the front of the house. And so we feel like at this point in time, it just adds to the peacefulness of the house with the
It
water.
does,
But-
absolutely. And the Japanese maple is probably my favorite tree.
Oh, yeah.
I love these. They're so gorgeous.
They are.
They take
they're a
forever to
little-
grow.
Yes, and sometimes you don't want them to grow.
Very
You
true.
want them to spread a little, but they are sensitive. So they're not a tree you can put out where it's going to get a lot of heat or a lot of freezing.
Okay,
you know,
these are all things that
so-
you learn as a master gardener, right?
Yeah, that's true.
This is
definitely,
true.
yes.
And there's more to look at on the terrace?
yeah, sure. Let's
have
walk
a
around
look
this
there.
way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're heading down to the terrace, and this is another beautiful space here too. I love the height changes in here too.
Right.
What
When
does
we-
this space mean to you?
Well, when we built this house, we put the house up on a ridge like that. That was what sold us on the property because we
Okay.
could put this kind of roving house. Because you notice our garage is not attached. This part sticks out and the house kind of moves in a curve. So having this was a challenge to try to figure out what can we do here that it won't be a drop off, So steps at a time.
When people come to the tour, you'll be here on hand. There's going to be volunteers from the Master Gardener Association too to kind of show people around, explain to them what all of these different plants are.
Right.
Okay.
Right, there'll be markers that will tell what the plants are. Now, one of the problems we run into this spring, there were these freezes that occurred after things started growing. And so we lost a lot of things to the freeze and frost because there was like 5 days in a row that we had one freeze after another and things just couldn't keep up. So we've had to do some replacing. And we have deer.
Wildlife is another
Yeah.
part of the equation.
And they do tend to eat things, so.
Speaking
yeah.
of eating things, you have a little vegetable garden too?
Actually, I'd love to show you my vegetable
Yeah,
garden.
let's go take
it's
a
one
look.
of my pride and joys.
Awesome, let's go look. Your garden here is just, everything is beautiful here, but your vegetable garden, and this helps sustain you too.
Oh yes, I do freeze and I can, and then of course if I have a lot of extra stuff, like, at the time zucchinis come in, one zucchini plant will overproduce. So, I'll give what I have extra to the food pantry or,
Oh, wonderful.
to friends. I'm not into setting up a vegetable stand at this point yet, but
Oh, you never know because you're growing
You
here.
never
Look at
know.
everything that you have here. What are some of your favorite vegetable plants in here?
well, broccoli. I have broccoli, and I've got some broccoli right now that's ready to be
Look
picked
at that.
already.
We just need some ranch to
Yeah.
go with it, and we'll be all
Yeah,
set.
right. Yeah, I'm growing cabbages and lettuce and beets, but I made these little tags out
Oh,
of
you made
clay.
these?
Yes, I did.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, and so I thought it'd be fun to put them in, especially, for the garden show and all that. So,
Yeah, and you're still carrying the Japanese theme in here too.
right. This is just a little Zen garden. It was just an empty spot that needed just a little something, again, peaceful.
Thank you so much for showing
Yeah.
us around. This is just beautiful, and we didn't even touch everything. There's plenty more for people to see
Sure,
when they
sure.
join the tour. Again, it's coming up in June, so I hope people do come and visit, and you'll be here to talk to them as well.
Sure, I'm happy to. This is where I love to be. It's a great place to be. So
Wonderful.
it's our happy place.
It is.
Yes.
I feel so happy here. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for coming. We really appreciate you coming for us.
Thank you.
That was wonderful. We're actually spoiled for a lot of great gardens around the area, and you may not know this about me, but growing up, I loved to garden with my mom. So it's actually one of my favorite things to go and see gardens.
I have to have you come over to my house because I'm a terrible gardener.
I like to.
Terrible.
I like planting things. I don't like cutting the lawn though. So I
Oh.
like gardening, but I don't like actually lawn care.
No, I just need help with the plants. That's all.
Okay,
That's
I'll
all.
do it.
But let's head over to Buchanan at the Arts Center to find out more about Celebrate the St. Joe River because it's a beautiful river and something that I think we take for granted in our community.
For sure.
Yeah, so let's go. Today we're at the Buchanan Arts Center with Danielle, who is the executive director, and I love the hair.
Thank you.
Very cool.
It's kind of my statement piece. People recognize me by it around town, actually.
Okay, well, lovely statement piece. And I just have to say, this is also a lovely space here. It's our first time here. It's so bright and airy and cheerful. But there's also a little bit of a history here because this is an art center now, but it was a library?
Yes, it was the original Buchanan Library. They're down the street now, but we still get people coming in just to visit because they remember it that way, and they still come here every once in a while and go, where are all the books? But then they see the art, they take a look around anyways.
And there is a little space for books here too that we're going to
Oh, yes.
show you in a little while.
Yes.
So there's that too. But this is really great. And so this is one of the exhibits here, and it's all about the St. Joe River,
Yes.
which is really cool because I feel like this is a feature that we have in our community that's so beautiful. Sometimes we take it a little bit for granted.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely. And all of these people had such a different view of the works, or of the river, so it's absolutely great.
So what's your favorite piece?
So I've got to admit that my favorite piece is South Bend on the St. Joe.
Oh, that is so pretty.
I believe it's the only night image in the show, and I just love the gorgeous blues and the reflections, and I can just feel being downtown in the middle of summer with that one.
Yeah, no, that is really pretty. I love that. Who's the artist?
Linda Fritschner.
Okay, is she local?
All of our artists are local. All of them are within 100 miles, but 90% of them are within 50 miles.
Okay, well, let's go from night to day over here.
Sure.
This one's really beautiful as well.
Yes, this one is Claire Hoinville. We'll actually have a solo exhibit by her next year. She does oils, and I believe this is the Broadway Bridge in Niles.
Okay, very nice. And I kind of like this one here because it shows a different season.
Yes, and this one is watercolor by Nancy Turner, Winter's Light. And that was another good thing about the variety we got. We got winter, spring, summer, fall, all of it.
Oh my gosh, can we go back over here? Because this one I kind of really love. So it's the river, but it shows some of our beautiful wildlife that we have here.
Yes, so I believe this is on the Riverwalk in Elkhart, and a little bit more story. So this one and her previous mate were run over by a boat. Happily, she found another mate this year, and they just hatched their first brood of chicks like a week after this was painted, so it's adorable.
That's wonderful. Are there more over there?
Yes.
So let's go take a look. And they're all different kinds. So there's paintings, watercolors, right? They're all different.
Yep, photography, and then even with the painting, there's oil, there's watercolor, there's acrylic, there's gouache, which is this one right here.
What is that one called?
So this is Mallards on the St. Joe, and it is gouache painting, which is a opaque watercolor medium. And this is actually by one of our instructors.
Really?
Yes.
It's beautiful.
She has a class coming up in September, actually, for birds and wildlife in colored pencil. But she's one of our most popular instructors, definitely.
That is really beautiful. Now, how long is this exhibit going to be around
Until
for?
July 11th.
So July 11th.
Yes.
Okay, so you have about 3 more weeks or so. Then,
Yes.
Because the summer's going fast, Danielle.
Yes, and then we have a whole new round of exhibits, so
Nice.
it never ends here.
Now, you also have one called Art for Art.
Yes.
Well, why don't we go take a look? So Danielle, this is the Art for Art, and there's really a message here about paying it forward.
Yes, so one of our previous board members and volunteers is also a volunteer for Redbud Area Ministries, which is a food bank. They also help with bills and household needs. She decided that she was fortunate with how much art has impacted her life, so she is offering a portion of her collection, small portion, up for sale, and these sales are going to fund free art classes for the community.
Now, since we're here, there's also something about paying it forward to the community that you do here called Empty Bowl Pottery Sale.
Yes, so it's Empty Bowls is an international program. It actually began in Michigan. A lot of people don't know that, in Detroit. We've been doing it in Buchanan for about 26 years. And basically, we invite people in to make pots, and they can either pre-purchase them or donate them to the sale. All of the funds go to Redbud Area Ministries Food Bank. And so far, ever since we've been involved, Empty Bowls has been the single largest monetary donation to them every year.
Well, that's great. We're going to see the Pottery Studio in just a bit, but let's go and take a look at an emerging artist that you have here that's from this area.
Definitely.
Well, Danielle, tell us a little bit about this artist.
So this is Jordan Bauer, and she is an emerging artist from Buchanan. She just graduated from Buchanan High School like 2 days ago. So. Yes. So she won an award at our annual youth exhibit. So we offered her an emerging artist show. Luckily, she was able to take it, and this is the result, and we're very excited for her.
That is wonderful. And so she kind of started out here. And where is she headed?
Milwaukee Institute of Art.
Very nice. Well, she's so talented. I can't take my eyes off of this one here.
Yes.
This is really cool. Can you tell us a little bit about this one?
So most of her work is based on either misheard lyrics or fairy tales, like reimagined. So they're not necessarily based in reality, but a mix of the two.
I should hope not, because I don't need any more butterflies in my brain.
Yes.
No, but I love that. That is really beautiful. She's extremely talented.
Yes.
Very, very nice. It must be a great feeling to be able to have, young artists in this community that you're able to help, and then able to, go on to higher heights and maybe have an exhibit here.
Yes, and we love having new artists here, whether you've been doing art for like years in your basement, or you're just getting started, or even if you've been having shows and fairs. We work with you to get you all comfortable for your exhibit, and we host receptions, and we do what we can to get you going.
Can we take a look at the Pottery Studio? Of course. So a lot happens back here, I can see.
Oh yes, this is one of our core programs for us.
And tell us a little bit about the program.
So Marie Remington started it after she retired because she had to keep herself busy, and pottery is her love. She's a great resource for us. So as you can see, we have wheels and we have the tables. So we do both wheel throwing and hand building. We can fit quite a few students in here normally, and they take their pottery, they either sell it at art fairs or enter it into competitions, anything they want with it.
Can anyone take the classes?
Yes, we have classes for all skill levels and all ages.
I love that. Okay, all skill levels, all ages. So that means anyone can come and take the classes here. Now you also have a summer concert series coming up and a Sweet 16.
Yes, of course. So the summer concert series is the last Sunday of every month, June through August, at 2 p.m. And the first one is June 27th, featuring young local artists from the community. So there's that theme again.
Love it.
And then our Sweet 16 is our 16th anniversary. So we've been here for that long, which is fantastic. It's difficult for nonprofits and arts organizations.
Absolutely.
So we're going to have a huge party, and we're going to have artist vendors and demonstrations and exhibits and food vendors, the whole shebang.
When is that?
That is August 14th.
Okay, August 14th, Sweet 16.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you so much for the tour, Danielle. Really appreciate it. And thank you so much for all that you're doing to bring art to this community.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Danielle, for the tour. It was our first time at the Buchanan Arts Center. Just a really beautiful museum over there. But also, WNIT is going to be kind of celebrating the St. Joe River all summer long. So we're going to bring you more about that as we go along.
Are we going to jump in?
Yeah, we're just going to jump in the river.
We're gonna
After
go
that
kayaking?
workout,
think
I
we
wish I
should.
could.
Well, after that workout, what I really need is to find out about the Summer Sipping Craft Beer Festival. It's going to be in Plymouth, because I could do with a beer after what we did here today.
Yeah, maybe 2 or 3.
What better way to kick off summer than the Summer Sipping Craft Brew Fest? It's going to be kicking off this weekend, Saturday, June 19th, down in Plymouth, Indiana. And I have with us today Marshall, who is the event committee coordinator and chairman. And, you know, this is an exciting event because you weren't able to do it last year, but you're bringing it back again this year.
Yeah, absolutely. We were pretty disappointed. We brought the event, basically brought it back last year. It had always been a Parks Department event to support local community events. It kind of went by the wayside with local politics. And so as a private organization, the Builders Association, we took it on. Then due to COVID, we had to cancel all of our plans. But the nice thing is all of that funding and all of those plans, we've now been able to expand it this year. So it'll be an amazing event.
That's awesome. And it's happening this Saturday, June 19th. And what's the time frame for it?
Time frame is 4 to 9. You can buy a VIP ticket so you can get an hour in early. There's always very popular beers that will be at each table. Those go quickly. So if you get the VIP ticket, it costs you a couple dollars more, but you can get in and you have a full hour of extra sampling.
Awesome. And I know you guys have been doing this for a few years. So obviously the breweries have expanded and we have some phenomenal breweries in the area here. What are some of the ones that will be featured on Saturday?
So locally, we have Coons Lake Brewery, which is obviously from Coons Lake, but they have a new facility in Plymouth, Indiana. We have 1056 Brewery. We have Bad Dad. We have Iron Hand Winery. Those are some of the local ones. And then we have a lot of very large breweries that will be there with representatives, by the way. A lot of these breweries are sending a representative. So if you really want to know about the beer, not only are you getting a pour, but you can also learn a little bit. But we've got Texas Ranch Water, Lagunitas, New Holland, Sun King, which we're very excited about, also an Indiana beer, Yinling, Cigar City, Crook and Marker, Upland, New Belgium, and the list goes on and on. We have over 30 different tables that we'll be serving beer at, so there's going to be plenty to choose from.
That's awesome. And I understand the tickets are unlimited as far as what they can consume. Obviously, drink responsibly. And if you have a designated driver along with you, of course, there's an optional ticket for them too, for somebody who won't be drinking any of those.
Absolutely. You know, Coca-Cola is donating water. RAB Water System is donating water. So hydration will not be an issue. We encourage everyone to drink as much water as possible. Designated driver price is $10. You get soda and water with that. We also will have food trucks. Those are a separate fee if you want to buy food, but they'll be inside the event as well. So there's plenty of opportunity for everyone to have a good time, but to be very responsible in doing it.
Awesome. And this event is going to happen rain or shine, but it looks like Saturday's forecast is going to be pretty good out there for you guys. But you have an awesome tent that you're adding this year too.
Well, thanks to Builders Mart from Warsaw, Indiana, we're going to actually have 2 30-foot by 40-foot tents that are set up. No sides. So that's going to be really nice for all the participants as far. If it does rain, we'll be completely covered, but also just for shade. Sometimes this can get kind of hot sitting out there. But we've got music. MGB Band will be playing. We have a few other solo acts. So the entire event will have live music that everyone can enjoy. And if you want to bring your own camp chair or your own chair and sit out there, but there's plenty of seating in the amphitheater and picnic tables as well.
Okay, and then once you get in the door, you're in the door. So make sure you bring all of your stowaway stuff with you, correct?
Bring that stuff with you. You know, we're asking people to not bring coolers. That way people don't sneak something else in. But if you want to bring your chair, bring it in. We will have some wristbands if you need to come in and out. It's not the end of the world, but really there's no reason to leave. We'll have all of the sanitation area, hand washing, restrooms, food will all be inside the barrier. So come in, plan on staying, and have a good time.
And of course, bring a valid ID. That's important. We want to make sure this is a 21 plus event. Point that out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And you can buy tickets at the door if you'd like. We really encourage ones to visit our Facebook page, Summer Sipping Craft Brew Fest. It's a mouthful. But if you get on the Facebook page, you can buy your tickets on the link right there as well.
Okay, awesome. And where do all the proceeds benefit?
So we have a lot of different sponsors that are really helping out with this. First Source has been a really huge sponsor. First Federal Bank. We could list an entire slew of names of companies that have been helping us out with this, including Marshall County Tourism. But really, the Builders Association of North Central Indiana is putting this on as a community event. And we're doing this year to help the Reese Theater Restoration Project. So it's a local little theater downtown. It's a great project. They have given us a ton of volunteers to help out with this event as well. So we really like to see that theater get up and running, get the doors open, and to be a real anchor for the arts in our community. We look forward to that.
That's so wonderful. And do you guys still need volunteers for Saturday too?
You know what? Usually this kind of event, we're begging for volunteers, but the Reese Theater, their project committee really came through strong. We have plenty of volunteers. So we have volunteers that will be pouring some beverages if the brewery didn't provide somebody, but then we have plenty of other people that will be working the event to make it nice and safe, including 2 police officers, local police officers will be working the event to keep everyone safe and keep everyone having fun, but again, responsibly.
Well, this sounds just like a wonderful, exciting event, and I'm so glad that you guys are able to put it on once again this year. And again, you can get the tickets through your website, through your Facebook page. You can get them there, and they're pretty reasonably priced for unlimited beer and wine for a few hours on a Saturday evening.
Unlimited sampling, and historically with this event, we end up sending cases of beer back because there hasn't all been consumed. So with this one, we held to the same number. We should have plenty of sampling for everyone to enjoy. And again, unlimited until we run out, right? So I don't think we'll run out though. So come out and have a good time and enjoy a variety of brews.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Marshall. We're excited for you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Courtney. We thank you for having us on here. We appreciate it.
Isn't that great that they have so many different beers? I mean, I'm not even a beer person, but I'm like, I'd like to try some of those.
Yeah, it's nice to go and get the little flights and try little bits.
Yes.
Like I love actually trying just sampling different beers and then finding one that you love. You know?
Yeah. Well, next week, okay, so we're bringing all of our friends and family here
Yep.
next week, right?
Yes, my quest to get fit
Yes.
and continue losing weight this year has brought us to Brazier Fit. And you know, I mean,
You want to give them a little sample?
You know, these arms are stronger than you imagine. Wait until you see.
Wait. A little preview. All right, let's see what we remember.
Welcome to
Come
the
on.
Gun Show.
You ready? Here we go.
All right, here we
so
go.
thanks
All
for
right.
joining us, guys. We'll see you next week. Uppercut. No, okay.
Yeah.
See you guys next week.
This WNIT local production has been made possible in part by viewers like you. Thank you.